Why do I make such a big deal about men's physique posing? So here's the deal. We all know that anybody on a bodybuilding stage is generally going to have an above average physique, right? So we all know that everybody on stage is going to have a good physique. Yes or yes. Of course they are, or they wouldn't be competing on stage. Now, what's next? The way you display it. I don't care how good your physique is. If you don't know how to properly display it to the judges, I have bad news for you. You're probably gonna lose. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. And it's sad that, so many physique competitors will put so much time and dedication into preparing for a show. For instance, they will invest in their diet, they'll invest in their gym membership to obviously get great workouts to follow their program, and often they'll pay a prep coach to make sure that their workouts are on point, and of course their diet is on point to make sure they do their prep, their peak week correctly, and everything else. And most of the time, an inexperienced physique competitor will skip out on getting posing instruction. And I will tell you this, I've coached over 50 competitors across the United States now, and now internationally. It's like you're making a stew, okay? If you're gonna make chicken noodle soup, you can't make it without the chicken, or else it's just gonna be noodle soup. You've gotta have your chicken, your broth, your noodles, okay? Same thing with competing in a physique competition. You gotta have your diet right, you gotta have your physique right with your workouts, and of course, you gotta have your posing. You gotta have your posing on point, or you're probably gonna lose. So here's a couple of videos of just a couple of competitors, quite a few competitors that have had some coaching from me.
He is definitely a professional, definitely a one-of-a-kind posing coach. With his help, I was a finalist for the OCB Richmond Super Pro Men's Physique Show.
Posing coach that I hired for my recent show, Sean Kanoy. I don't have to go over his accolades. You can Google his name and it'll take you to his social media. But when I tell you professional, relevant, and available are the 3 things I was looking for in a posing coach. And he was all 3 and then some. So a little bit of history before I hired Sean. I was just doing shows, and my physique was always good, man. And I was placing 2nd or 3rd, or sometimes I went 1st in the open and then lose overall. And needless to say, after working with Sean, I think we worked together for about 3-4 weeks. I am now an OCB Men's Physique Pro.
I couldn't wait to turn around, bro. As soon as I turned around, I spread, and all you saw were wings. Man, Sean, I just want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, I wouldn't have my pro card right now.
He's a specialist. With that means he has a very specific attention to detail. And all it does is benefit you. So if you're questioning whether you want to do this competing thing or not, or if you are trying to compete and you just haven't placed well, and people keep telling you have a nice physique, maybe you're just not presenting it well. And that's why you need to holler at Sean Kanoy, the posing specialist.
Mr. Sean, the posing coach himself, Kanoy, aka top-ranked OCB natural men's physique competitor. Just want to shout him out for his posing and support, his positivity and his expertise. Went from looking like Gumby up there to flowing like some butter. Like, it's amazing. Just, you're doing all the hard work to get in shape, and then knowing how to pose on top of that, take your confidence and your comfort level to a whole nother plane. Not to mention, his responsiveness, his willingness to help, his knowledge. Great guy, great support system. And if you can't pose, you will lose.
It was phenomenal. I was able to win my first show, gained my pro card, men's physique novice first place, men's physique open overall first place. So big shout out to Sean.
When I started, I was very nervous. I felt good about how my body looked and everything, but I had no idea on posing. As soon as I started talking to Sean, he made me feel comfortable within the first couple of minutes. I knew about how to pose a little bit on which poses to do, but I had no idea how to best frame my body to make it look good. And transitioning and looking natural were they didn't exist. But Sean, within a couple of sessions, made me feel much more comfortable, made me look much more natural. Just looking at me in line, posing in my bathroom, he was able to tell me which angles I needed to be at and which would hide flaws and accentuate strong points. He started teaching me with transitions to make it look smooth and comfortable and professional. And he's taught me everything about posing, everything. And you should absolutely hire him, whether it's in person or online. He's going to be able to make you look your best on stage. No doubt about it.
Sean Kanoy's online posing, amazing. This guy is there with you from step 1 to step 3. Everything's on point. He's an awesome guy. I would refer him to anybody that's looking to further their career in the OCB as far as posing.
I just wanted to say a testament of how great Sean really is. I hired him with only 2 weeks out of my very first competition. I've never posed before. I've never had anything to do with competitions before. And I found him through social media on Instagram and hit him up with, like I said, just 2 weeks. And I want to say all to him, I was able to win my very first competition. I even went and asked, that's Steve Cook's signature, but I even went and asked the judges and asked, why me, you know? And they said not only my symmetry, but they said I was able to pose to where it showed my symmetry perfectly. And like I said, that's all because of Sean. And I just want to say thank you, Sean. And I really couldn't have done it without you.
I've got to go. I just finished my leg workout over here. It's time to go home and eat some dinner. So, want some online men's physique posing coaching? Click the link below and we'll get started.